Well, baseball season is here. The Griffons open 2015 this weekend down south, a 4-game series with Arkansas Tech beginning February 1st. Western coming off a 32-20 record a season ago. What will this year bring? Joining us now for the answer, assistant coach Tony Loeffler. Buzz Verduzco is caught somewhere. We taped the show on Monday. He's caught in New York.
He's in the nor'easter or whatever's going on up there.
He may never make it back ever again. We hope he does.
Only Buzz would get caught in the blizzard too, by the way.
He's going to meet us in Arkansas probably. Yeah. Not really, but maybe.
No,
you never
possibly.
know. Yeah, it's a possibility.
Could happen. So, well, Tony, you're making your GSI debut. I know that's the most exciting thing of your life, right?
I would see it, so I never got a chance to be on it.
Well, you're living the dream.
Nice,
Tony, tell us about this baseball team.
Well, I think we're going to be pretty good. You know, I mean, it's going to be something where we got to go out there and see, because I think if you guys remember in 2012, really talented group, but they needed kind of that year to mesh. I don't know if we're going to need that or not, because we do have some seniors that are back, but that's kind of where we are with the talent level. Like, they're talented, but they're young.
Well, 5 returning starters. You got Trevor Lahanta, you've got Cody Childs at shortstop, you got Ryan Degner, who's an All-American last year, you got Dylan Cook, who's your starting second baseman last year. That's a pretty good nucleus to build on, so we know about those guys. Let's talk about the new guys that we expect to see and some names we expect to hear. Yeah,
I mean, I think you're going to hear a lot of DeAndre Hagee once he gets going. I mean, DeAndre's got some raw power. He can hit, and so does Cosmo Canella, our first baseman. He's pretty good too, and he's got a lot of power.
And he's from where?
He's from DMAC. Well, he's from Chicago, but he's Chicago area, but he's from DMAC Community College last year. So I'm expecting big things out of those guys, and then David Glode, the third baseman. So
he's your Canadian, right?
He's the Canadian from Quebec.
He's a French Canadian.
Frenchie, that's what we call him, Frenchie. So he's all around. I mean, he's Mr. All Around. So he reminds us a little bit of Michael Schultz. In some ways.
That's a good comparison to have.
You can have all the hitting in the world, but you better have some pretty good pitching too. And I think that's what's been lost a little bit. You know, 2 years ago, all we wanted to talk about was all the runs this team was scoring, but pitching on that team was pretty good too. Last year, to say you had a lot of turnover in your staff, I think is probably an understatement, and especially from what you thought you were going to have at the beginning of the year to what you finished the year with. But in a sense, your staff was as consistent or as a strength of this team as any area. Talk about what you're going to have this year, because you got some of those guys back.
Yeah, I think that our staff is going to be the most interesting part of the team. I mean, we have enough at the front end. The starters with Grant Woods, Josh Lansong, and Tyler Tepker to carry us through the beginning of the game. Then the interesting part is going to be the new guys that are in the bullpen, and that's going to be, Michael Calamino and Richie Peoples. I'm excited to see what they can do. If they're as good as I think they are, then we're going to be pretty good.
So the question mark is your pitching. Is that what you're saying?
No, actually, I think the question mark will be more to who's going to be catching, really. The pitching will be okay. I think they'll be steady. I don't think they'll be as big of a question mark, per se, as the catchers will be.
Tony, in some aspects, your schedule is a little like the football schedule here, because you don't really have, you don't really start out lightly. Your opening series this weekend is against Arkansas Tech, who, oh, by the way, won 44 games last year and hosted the regional. You guys did split with them last year. Then you go to Harding, and then, boom, you're right into league play in one of your opening series against Emporia State. Just talk about this early season here, and people say, what, it's January? You guys are playing baseball already? But it's time to go, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, we're excited. We're ready. It always feels like the beginning of the spring kind of goes slow, So we're excited. Hopefully the weather holds up. But Arc-Tech is going to be good. They're always good. They always got guys that can hit. They're going to have some older pitchers. They have some guys that I've seen at junior college level and stuff. They're going to be good. Very similar to us, so it's going to be interesting to see, where we stand up with the top level teams in the country.
If you're a frequent watcher, then you know Easley's Tantalizing Trio is one of the, if not the best segment of the entire show.
You've only heard it twice already.
Here's how this works. I ask you 3 questions, maybe related to baseball, maybe not related to baseball, and you tell me anything that's on your mind. And by the way, we've featured our drinks. We featured our appetizers. Our salad dressings are really good too. Have you had those?
Are they in a mason jar?
Yes, they are.
Great.
Mason jar, homemade. Again, Tantalizing Trio, food. Nobody says, well, what's that mean? Tantalizing Trio sounds like food to me. Reeks of food. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
He would absolutely.
Salad dressing sounds good.
So Tony, I'm curious, because this seems to be more of a baseball thing than anything else. What is your superstition? Do you have a superstition on the field? Do you never step on the chalk line? I know we have a painted chalk line. It's there permanently.
Yeah, I think the biggest one is I can't miss a belt loop.
I miss a belt loop.
If I miss a belt loop, I got to redress completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good answer. That's interesting.
Yeah.
He's from California.
I missed a belt loop a couple weeks ago and had to go back and
Turn him off and have
do
him
everything.
back.
So completely redress.
You are the king, not just you, but pitching coaches in general are the kings at stalling, wasting time to give your pitcher in the bullpen time to warm up. What is it? Can you just give us a little insight into some of your tactics there?
Yeah, I know that.
I mean, you trip and fall down on the way to the mound to buy a little more time. I mean, it's a slow walk, is it not?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I've been known to get a little grief from some of the umpires in the league because I send the catcher out there and I make him walk, and then I make him walk back.
Yeah.
And then I wait until the hitter gets set, and when he digs in, then right when our pitcher comes set, I call time. And I kind of barge out of the dugout so they have to grant me time because I'm on the field. And then I slowly walk to the mound. And then I talk a little bit to the pitcher a little bit about, you know, things going on in the game, but I make sure that I take breaks in between each word, and then I'll talk to him maybe about something that's not going on in the game.
If you appreciate baseball, it's masterful. If you don't appreciate baseball, it's painful to watch.
Oh yeah, no question. Yeah.
Tony, finally, a really serious question here. A lot of folks that probably don't know or realize you immediately ended your playing career here, which was a very good playing career, as Ryan mentioned. You won a Gold Glove and went right onto the coaching staff. That's a hard transition for people that have never done that. What was the hardest part about that for you, going from player to coach, knowing you were now coaching some of the guys you played with?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, that year, like you guys know, they were the best. So it wasn't very hard to coach them.
It's an easy transition.
Yeah, easy transition that year. Now it's really easy. I mean, 3 years into it, it's easy. So
now, have a good year. Your job's on the line. It's on the line every year in college sports.
Yeah, no question.
No pressure there.
Yeah, especially now because we got a good offense, and Buzz knows that he has a good offense, and he doesn't. He doesn't know too much about my side of this, so we got to figure that out.
Well, you might have to coach the team this weekend in Arkansas. Hopefully, Buzz gets back from New York in the
He's going to ride back with the Kenosha Kickers, isn't he?
Well, or that, or he'll be Bruce Banner in the Avengers, where he rides up on the bicycle.
Yeah,
that's what he'll do. Yeah, in the last second, then he'll hulk up and be ready to go for baseball.
Or the snowmobile.
So yeah, that's very possible. Tony Loeffler,
thanks a lot.
For joining
us.
Congratulations on
enjoy it.
Yeah, congratulations on a winning weekend. I'm already calling it right now. That'd be good. We'll leave it at that.
Great.
All right. That's Tony Loeffler, assistant coach at Missouri Western. We'll be right back.